Hello, I have a quick word for you. I have been in the book of Ruth, and in my Bible, as you can see, there's obviously this picture, um, like watercolor picture, and I was looking at this thing, and I know it's not necessarily a popular opinion, but sometimes things have to die off for like true life to really begin. And I know that may seem harsh, particularly when it's dealing with family, your loved ones, your spouse, your children. Um, I'm just looking at, like, this is obviously a genealogy tree, if you will. I can't think of what the other word is, but Elimelech was married to Naomi in the book of Ruth, and they had two sons, Mahlon and Chilion. And to try not to make this long, but Mahlon and Chilion were both pretty sickly, I guess you could say. I know Chilion's name means wasting away, pining away, and Mahlon, if that's how you pronounce it, his name literally means sickly. And so both of these sons, brothers, ended up marrying Ruth and Orpah. And if you know the story, once Elimelech, Mahlon, and Chilion died off, Naomi, Ruth, and Orpah planned to return to Bethlehem, Judah. And after a little bit of convincing, Orpah decided to stay in Moab with her family. Well, Naomi and Ruth made the trek back to Bethlehem, Judah, and that's where she eventually, well, not even eventually, because actually it was very kind of a quick thing, and I have a word God wants me to release on that, but she met Boaz, and long story short, he became her kinsman redeemer, and they then gave birth to Obed, who then gave birth to Jesse, who gave birth to David, and eventually Jesus. If you want to see more about the actual genealogy, I would go to Matthew, the first chapter, which pretty much lays the whole thing out. But like, the fact is that in this case, and in many cases, sometimes things that you think are supposed to live and thrive and be forever, even your marriage, even your children, sometimes these things, these people, they die off. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but sometimes that has to happen for, I dare say, something better to arrive, something better to be birthed. I know that doesn't always feel good to hear, but just imagine if Ruth's husband, Mahlon, didn't die, she would have had children with him. She never would have married Boaz. She never would have had to, well, she may have returned to, Bethlehem, Judah, but she would have been someone else's wife. So she never would have had the chance to marry Boaz. Sometimes our pain, not sometimes, our pain is very purposeful. And so you go through this pain, and it really makes you stronger, even though you don't necessarily feel like it in the moment. Pain really does teach you perseverance. It teaches you patience. It teaches you how to power through some situations that you never thought you would have to. And I'm sure this is not a situation that Ruth or Naomi thought that they would ever have to encounter. But once they did, God really gave them wisdom. God gave wisdom to Naomi. God gave wisdom to Ruth to really be able to succeed in the face of some serious adversity, to be not just a widow, but then to lose your two sons at this time and age, especially as an older woman. That was basically like a death sentence. And to be able to get a second chance, that was just nothing but the grace of God for these women. The entire story is just absolutely beautiful. If you've never read the story of Ruth, please read it. It's a quick read. It's what, 4 chapters, I believe? Yeah, 4 chapters. So definitely read it. It will bless you. I just really feel that sometimes things have to die, even though it's not what we planned, but some things have to die off so that new life, true life, the life of Jesus, came to fruition because of these different changes that these families faced. And so I just hope that this encourages you, that even though things may look, bleak at sometimes, or you may be losing someone or something that you never thought you would lose, God has something even greater for you ahead. I mean, just imagine if we didn't have Jesus, right? So that's the word.